Hello there, YouTube. I am Wheelchair21. On today's rolling review, we'll be looking at the Kabaya's DX Transformer Gum Model Kit figures, the metallic version of Fortress Maximus. This is his second time being issued in these mini-pla-like toys released through Kabaya, which is a subsidiary through Takara, which I believe, if my research serves me correctly. Now, Fortress Maximus is 3 singular pieces in the set, and his left side, which comes with Cerebros, his main chest piece, and practically his entire torso with a miniature Wincharger, his right leg and arm with the Master Sword and a Power Glide. Each of these boxes have a G1-esque design with the panel and grid lines, and honestly look very superb. And I also like this weird blazing design that each of the boxes have. You have this core common fire, a light yellow, and a glowing orange. I don't know why, but I feel like a Jinrai was originally supposed to be released alongside of it, but then they're like, oh shit, we can only release 2 sets at a time with this case. And the back of the box art is the same for each 3, and it shows how he can transform into his 3 signature modes: City/Base mode, Flying Space Fortress, and his robot mode. God damn it, Ghost! Stop turning on my air conditioner! Now, to start off, we're going to be looking at base mode, which actually is constructed to feature few working gimmicks with Wincharger. Like, the interior right here is supposed to have a little bit of a powered ramp that's supposed to knock and shoot him down. However, it tends to get stuck, and you end up having to open the entire piece right here, which is a hatch that can open up to make sure that if it does get jammed, you can take it out, as well as there's this little rocket power piece here that tends to make him go flying off. Just watch. Oh, it didn't work this time. Honest to God, it didn't work. Alright. I had to put my hand a little bit out like this because it likes to shoot off and go to a curve and goes flying and missing. Now, as you can see, Power Glide looks pretty decent, pretty simple, and, well, he has a weird jutting piece out in the front, which is his landing gear. His transformation is pretty interesting, due to the fact all you gotta do is just unplug the wings and flip them around and peg them in. And he looks pretty G1 and lame. But then again, Power Glide was always lame to begin with. Then we got our little mini Wincharger, which, honestly, I don't really like this figure, or figurine in general, due to the fact that mine tends to like to fly apart on me, and I always worry that it's going to break, because it's just crap. And you just flip this around, and that's your Wincharger. Aside from the launch gimmick here and the launch gimmick there, he's pretty, well, hollow, as you can see. Launch ramps in his legs, which you can see his entire thigh, inside and interior. He has his back leg cannons that actually can flip up, but for some reason mine are stuck in place, even though they're supposed to be able to lift up. Ah, here we go. I don't know why they're giving me this much problem. Maybe it's just today wants to screw me, since I've been having a bad day with the ghost air conditioner from hell. But pretty much, his leg guns still flip up. His sides all flip down. His little weird anklet freaking gun thing, his calf gun turret, is still intact. His arms do flip up the launch pads, and his guns are easy to rotate, but in this form you can't really tell that much. Overall, base form does look very unique and great. Probably it's better on the actual original G1 toy, as well as the New Titans Return one. So we'll look at our next form, which is pretty much his spaceship form, which is practically just him laying on his back. Now, like I said, his battleship mode is practically laying on his back. Yep, Fortress Maximus in his Fortress Maximus form is just practically laying down. And on the bottom, you can see that there are cutouts for fake wheels to help you allegedly roll it, but they're just molded in plastic and don't do jack shit. As well as there's this weird gear that just sits there and does practically nothing. Honestly, though, I do like this mode. It is a little weird and interesting due to the fact that the legs have to unfold for this mode, but this is the mode we commonly see in Transformers Headmasters, as well as when we see his brother appear in Master Force. One thing I also found interesting is the fact that his turret guns on the actual bridge of the ship, they switch around. I don't get it. It's rather interesting that they need to switch around. I don't understand why they really need to switch around, but that's what the instructions tell you to freaking do. So if someone's wondering why they're now on opposite sides from a few minutes ago, yeah, that's just something the instructions tell you to do. G1 always had that issue, and I think the Titans Return one has that issue. But since I don't have either of them, I don't know, quite frankly. So since we're practically in robot form, all one needs to do is flip up the feet, push down his guns, rotate back this little turret just to be safe, to have a nice, easy way to transform stuff, unplug his guns. For some reason this wanted to come out on me, I don't know why. Unplug other gun, plug this into his back. That's what I like to do, just save that for there. Unfold the actual bridge and tower, which have his hip guns, as you can see inside. You unfold them. You can easily do that. Boom, boom. Pretty much shoot stuff out of his abs. And then you flip down his arms, and flip down his arm. Rotate his fist. Push the ramp down in the back. Plug his gun into his hand. Hope the hand stays intact. Nope, it doesn't want to go in. Plug it in, push this back up. Now, sometimes people say you should just keep this side gun on the side so the actual ramp doesn't fold down. I personally just don't like it there. I like it on the side. So this is probably going to be an ongoing issue throughout the review. Alright, so the last thing you need to do is pretty much take Cerebro. So we'll finally be looking at him now in the review, which uses nice metallic stickering. Honestly, looks great. I love it. I really do love the design of this little miniature Headmaster, which is ironically able to be swapped out with the actual Titan Masters of the modern era. So I've been told from people who have the original version of this model kit. And you just flip his legs up and fold this flap on his back up and plug his head in as so. So he can actually be plugged in. Now, his great weapon, the Master Sodo, does have a nice gunmetal for the hilt. Nice sticker here. I really do love this metallic sticker and reflective sticker for the base of the sword, and then the rest is a basic bland metallic red paint over some basic red plastic. Honestly, as you can see, one of the biggest flaws is the fact that when you cut it from the sprue, it does take away the paint, and you also have that issue with this green metallic flap right here, which actually irks the hell out of me because it's either on the outside or the interior side, but it's not that noticeable as long as he's transformed. Actually, it's right here, but it's hard to see on the camera. So, plug the sword in, and we are pretty much done. For my final evaluation of Kabaya's Fortress Maximus Metallic Edition, there's not that much metallic on it to make it different from the original one. This is just a nice cop-out and reissue for those who missed out on the original version of the model kit, which supplies you with, well, pretty huge chunks of gum. I mean, some people probably put more in their mouth, but this is easily able to suffice one person, I believe, per each part. And honestly, it does also practically do everything the G1 does. Now, yes, there's the G1 version, the Encore, its few repaints that one can probably strive to obtain, or just can't do it to its price. This model kit, however, is quite affordable until it practically is scarce. Once it has sold out, or been several, probably months or weeks after its initial release, due to how candy toys and model kits work in Japan. So, I'd say get it while you still can. And it doesn't matter which version you get, whether it be the original one or this metallic one. The metallic one looks a little bit nicer, but the only issue I gotta say is when clipping it off the sprues, it does, show the original plastic color before it was painted over. So that is one huge problem. The only other problem is these nice little mini-bots are fun to have, but they're pretty crappy and fall apart, and you can lose the parts too, simply as so. One highlight is, though, that it is tall enough to be the height of a modern-day Voyager, and like I said, you can supposedly switch out this head with the current run of Titan Return set. Since this is Voyager Generations Brainstorm, the head is not that swappable. Sadly, that means I can't do that. I gotta say, if you need one, probably hit me up on TF World, Twitter, or here on YouTube, because I'm probably going to be selling that spare one I showed at the beginning of the review. Yes, that was actually a spare, and I can prove it. There will be a sales thread if you need me to double check. So you can check me out in a few weeks, either on TF World or over on Twitter. And anyways, I've been Wheelchair21. I say this model kit is surely worth getting, or you can just throw your money at the original or freaking the Titans Return one. I don't freaking care. But you can see this review here on my channel, or over at HeroTaku.com, and Hero Club. You can follow me on Twitter and also check me out on Instagram, and I'll see you all next time.